Aloha, everyone. Lovely to connect with you while I'm here on the mystical and gracious island of Maui. Once again, last time I connected with you in Maui was in the fall equinox, and I am now here during the spring equinox. And so I'm so delighted to be recording my podcast during this time and kind of connect you to and tune you into this vibrational field that is this island. And we're really in a quite powerful week leading up to the spring equinox, which is also a solar eclipse and new moon. And I feel really excited to be connecting with you around this seasonal and planetary alignment that is happening. And I'm hoping to be able to record this and then publish it in time for you to have it for the spring equinox, but we'll see what that's like as I am on Maui time and things operate in a different dimension here. The other magical aspect of being here at this time of the year is the whale season here on the islands. I've always known that they come and give birth here on the islands, often coming from Alaska and Canada. And I just recently found out that they actually then, after feeding, then they go into a new cycle of mating right before they return to Alaska and Canada. So it's quite a busy season for whales here in Maui. Lots of eros in the air and lots of love as well. Such a powerful expression and kind of a creative experience of creation and birth. And we're approaching this spring equinox, which is, symbology and metaphor to the energy of this season, which is a season of rebirthing, coming out of the winter and kind of the darkness of the winter season, where light recedes to dark, and moving into seasons of more and more light. And that's, I find, also true for each one of us. That's what happens when we align ourselves to the seasons, is we get the opportunity to also connect with that reflection of our own process and journey. So I'm not sure if you can hear in the background the beautiful Hawaiian doves. I am on my way to one of the beautiful bays here where I was intending to record this podcast, but as I parked, the Hawaiian doves, it's sunset time, so they were pretty strong here at the park, and so I wanted to see if they could be also the background of this podcast. So now I'm at this bay that I was mentioning earlier, and it is sunset time. Quite beautiful, and the Hawaiian doves and are on this beach as well. It's such a magical beach, and this is the bay that I had the privilege of witnessing about an hour's worth of whale breaching last night. That was truly surreal and out of this world. I had arrived and was excited to see the whales. I'd been here a couple of days. I hadn't seen really much of anything other than some spouts, and got a little disappointed. And then I said, I'm letting that go. And Divine, if it's, your will that I see them while I'm here on the beaches, without taking out a whale watching boat out, then so be it. And I was speaking with a good friend of mine. We were talking about all the alignments that are happening currently and kind of this powerful week we're in, and within a high distance a whale breached, and they continued. It must have been a whole family of them, or community of them, school of them, for really about an hour. It was really phenomenal. And the last breach, this whale was so tremendously large and came up vertical right above the water, and hung out there for a few seconds before splashing back down onto the ocean. It was phenomenal and beautiful. And they say that they don't really know why they do this. There are many theories, but often people just say out of just sheer joy. So yeah, it's definitely a magical time and a powerful time, and I just would like to open that up to you wherever you are, wherever you're listening to this. Someone beautifully reminded me yesterday, I believe it was my friend that I was speaking to, all of that magic is within us. All that beauty is within us. And we have the gift of that beauty and that magic being manifest in certain places. And each one of us has a place that we are called to, that is a reflection of for us. And that's definitely, these islands is definitely that for me. And I also love to share that magic with others, as well as open up others to that magic within them, and so that they can take it back home wherever they are, and bring that magical quality of living, which is truly the way that it was designed to be. Back to wherever we are residing, we call home. And this is a beautiful week to open up to that magic, yeah? With the Spring Equinox coming and this solar eclipse new moon, it's a good time to be doing some of the practices I've shared with you in the past, which is, writing out a list of those qualities within you and your life that you are, looking to shift, to transform, to release, to let die out with the winter season, to thaw out with the winter season receding, and to open up to new birth, to new realities, to new awarenesses, to new perspectives. And that is really, this work that we do, oftentimes the shifts are really very much about an internal shift. That's really how all external realities occur. It's from an internal consciousness. The distance symbol, one of its meanings is the origin of all is pure consciousness. So everything that is in our world comes from our consciousness. And this season, this time, season change, along with the solar eclipse and new moon, is a powerful time to shift our consciousness, our perceptions about ourselves, our world, our realities, what we're creating, and then to plant those new seeds, to manifest that consciousness in our lives, in our world. So write out a list about those things in yourself that you are tired of and are ready to shift consciousness around and in your life. And then you may, there may not be there. You may be just in bliss. And so maybe there are some areas you're just wanting to refine, to strengthen. Maybe you're wanting to, expand even further and greater. So, and then of course write a list of the intentions and visions that you have for this new season, for the spring. What would you like to bloom into? How would you like to experience yourself? And I always invite you to write those in an affirmation, in the I am. I am living peacefully and joyfully, and I am full of health and vitality. I am traveling, I am prospering, I am in my Dharma. I am in full service. I am in deep alignment with my true self, etc., and so on. So solar eclipses can be very intense, and they can really push up those aspects in ourselves or our lives that are no longer tolerable, allowable, and they can also intensify our emotions. So be mindful and aware of that this week as we move into the solar eclipse. And any solar eclipse, should you be listening to this at a different time than this particular week, they are powerful. And so walk lightly during this week. And I also suggest and recommend during this time not to take yourself or others too seriously. As I'm speaking with you, we have a Honu coming and visiting us, which is the green sea turtle. He is coming out of the sea and making his way to the sand. How beautiful to be occurring at the time that I'm recording. And they, speaking of not taking yourself too seriously, really are amazing medicine keepers that teach us about moving slowly, mindfully, being grounded. So during the solar eclipse, I highly suggest to be grounded. And so I believe that Honu here has come to deliver this message to you. Also, they remind us to connect to that ancient wisdom, which is within us and in especially available to us, through our own practice and through our connection with the earth. They are teachers of connecting and caring for the earth. So I want to take the kind of invitation that this green sea turtle is giving us here to invite you this week. And if you happen to listen to this after the spring equinox, following the equinox, to ground yourself and connect yourself with the earth. Find a sacred spot for you, and it may very well be your garden, and connect with the elements. Connect with this season, and connect to the wisdom that the earth always has for us, teaching us, bringing to our awareness. And bless yourself while you're in that environment. Bring a little ceremonial gift to give, and open to the wisdom of that part of that you are staying in, and open up. Sometimes when we're in these seasonal changes, and we want to kind of capture the energy that's present and utilize it, align with it. Sometimes we're not aware what we want. And so being in powerful places and sacred places, opening ourselves up to the wisdom of the earth, can often align us with what it is that our true heart's desire is. So I invite you to do that. And as we are here being visited by the medicine of green sea turtle, the whales have just started spouting. So I want to tune you into that energy as well. As we move into this spring equinox, I'd like to open up this healing session with the 5 Reiki principles, which I feel have been really speaking to me lately in a deeper way, which is really what happens with all of our practices. Yeah, we practice and we get a new experience of something we've been doing for years. And the 5 Reiki principles are Kododama, which has a spiritual power. Kododama is a word that has a spiritual power. And Usui created the Gakkai, the 5 Reiki principles, to support us in aligning with right living. I just saw a beautiful whale breach. Speaking of right living. Right living, he had individuals coming to him, receiving healings, going back in their lives, being filled with worry and fear and anger and coming back ill. And he just realized, it was really about a way of life and a vibrational field in your daily life that would support overall health. All of nature is a sound current. All of nature has a sound frequency. And there's a repetition to that sound frequency. When you look at the birds and their song, there's a constant repetition of the same tune or tone. The waves have a sound current that is often a repetition of the same tone. And the whales, such a demonstration of a chant and a sound current that connects and communicates, and in many ways creates a web that really connects not just within the community of whales, but really globally in a way that we don't even understand fully what that is for. Some have actually theorized that that may very well be part of creating a web to sustain and maintain a certain frequency on the planet. So when we think about our own sound frequency, when we do the Gakkai, that is a opportunity to connect and open to the teachings of Usui and to a way of life that is Reiki. We are participating in this global practice, really, that is natural. Once again, as Reiki is a natural system. And we also, do that same practice in our yoga practice. When we chant the Om 3 times, and in Kundalini Yoga with the various chants that we chant. And also in Reiki with the Reiki symbols, when we chant them often too, when we say certain affirmations, we'll repeat them. So there's a sound frequency with that, and then there's also a sacred geometry with that. That creates a connection, a web, if you will. Again, the entire universe has a connective web. We see it in all of nature, as well as a spiral that we see all in nature. So when we are practicing the Gakkai, or when we are practicing Reiki or our yoga practice, we can align with that reality and awareness. And it can have, again, give us an additional fullness and depth and enjoyment and inspiration and invigoration for our daily practice. So just tune into the 5 Reiki principles and that vibrational field as we move into this healing session. And if you know them, please chant them along with me. And if you don't, hum along, and then until you can take on the words. I'll chant them in Japanese. So, Kyo dake wa ikuruna shimpai suna kansha shite Gyo hageme itu ni shinsetsu ni Gyo dake wa ikuruna shimpai suna kansha shite Gyo ageme, hitu ni shinsetsu ni, gyo dake wa ikuru na, shimpai suna, kansha shite, gyo ageme, hitu ni shinsetsu ni. And so as you tune into that frequency of the Gakkai, the 5 Reiki principles, I know for myself, I often feel the presence of Usui as I chant them. And interestingly enough, another reason for being here, which is lovely to be reminded as I'm recording this podcast, is that March is a very powerful anniversary time for Usui on Reiki. It was in March of 1922 that Usui was on Mount Kurama and rediscovered Reiki and had his initiation to the system of Reiki, which he then developed a very unique part of Reiki. And then also March of 1926 is when he transitioned. So talk about, a time of rebirthing. That definitely Usui's experience and gift of Reiki to all of us is really an expression of rebirthing. And with our Reiki practice, we get to rebirth daily. We get the gift of rebirthing daily through, our hands-on work, but so much more. Yeah. So, before we go into the healing session, just being aware that every time that you practice on yourself, whether you're giving yourself a full session or just a few hand positions, you are giving opportunity of rebirthing, of renewing, of cleansing, of clearing, of realigning. And the Gakkai, the 5 Reiki principles, also give us that opportunity. They really give us that opportunity of realigning. So let's actually, if you are Reiki tuned, I invite you right now to go ahead and invoke the symbols. Invite them into your session. And being this powerful anniversary time of Usui, let us, invite the presence of Usui in our session. And I am also sitting here across from Molokai. It's a powerful island for questing. It has a very deep essence, spiritual essence, that is a little different than I'd experienced and express Maui to be. Both have that, but there's a real purity in Molokai on the island. And so as you move into your healing session, open to that questing quality of Usui when he quested on Mount Kurama, and ready to surrender to death or enlightenment. Open up to his presence in our session. And if you're not a Reiki practitioner and you really don't even know who Usui is, I would just, say open up to this teacher, this wise teacher that brought a great gift to the earth. Maybe open up to what wisdom that teacher may have for you as well. And as we do that, just opening up to whatever it is that you are questing right now. Whatever it is that you are asking for right now, whatever it is that you're looking for to clarify or better understand, or as we spoke about earlier, shift in consciousness around. And if you like, of course, invite in your own ancestors, lineage, any ascended masters that you connect with. And I'm just going to be in a bit of silence here as you just tune into that, as you're tuned into this field here. Imagining yourself either on Mount Kurama or here on the island of Maui, or whatever it is that you most connect with. And just let yourself receive, opening up to the clarifying energies coming through, the rebirthing energy coming through, and the healing energy coming through. And let yourself rest. Let yourself surrender, as Usui did. Surrender to that symbology of death or illumination. Allow yourself to just surrender and let go of what you may be thinking things should be like, or surrender and allow the death of areas in your life you may have been pushing or forcing or frustrated with. Just surrender. Let go. And just allow. Allow. And be. Simply be. And as you do that, allow the new birth of flow. Allow the new birth of synchronicity. And allow the new birth of the universe aligning and caring for you in the way that the universe so knows so well how to do. And tune in to see if there's any inner guidance you may hear, receive. Just observe, bring awareness, take note. And then, dear ones, just gently soaking in and drinking up what you may be receiving, hearing. And feel free, of course, to pause this podcast and come back to it if you want to continue receiving and soaking in stillness, or the gift of Reiki and the gift of the elements is that its continuum continues, and the ability to receive continues even after we end this healing session as more is revealed. And so just gently bring your awareness back to your breath, back to your body, back to the present. Taking a moment, placing your hands, palms down over your heart. And taking a moment here and promising to gift yourself presence in this week, grounding, opening to your ancient wisdom and the wisdom of the elements around you. And then when you're ready, just gently opening your eyes. And I want to invite you this time to take a moment and pause the podcast and record your experience. Write down any awarenesses, any visuals, anything that may even seem insignificant. Write it down. Any kind of information you may have received from any of the Ascended Masters or Usui or any guides, any words that may have come through. And I'd like for you to take that with you this week and into the Spring Equinox. And I'd like for you to take this gift of surrender into the Spring Equinox. The Spring Equinox definitely brings more energy, as we have more of the kind of sun energy coming through, the masculine, active energy. That's not that mean that the feminine is not creative. It's just a different essence of that. That you also move with that sense of surrender through it, allowing. And as you do that, that cycle of rebirthing is stronger. And that deep desire that's within your heart manifests more gracefully. Yeah? And so, dear ones, it's been such a beautiful gift to share this time with you. So delighted opening up this place to you, and I look forward to sharing it with you in person. I'm here during the Spring Equinox, and we'll be back in Maui on the Fall Equinox, or right after the Fall Equinox, for our fall retreat. And so excited to share that with you. We are going to be staying at one of the most beautiful accommodations and beaches and bays on the island, and with just a community that really cares for their accommodation and it really cares for our group. It's also where Ram Dass has led his retreats and is leading his retreats. It's the Napilikai Resort, and so I'm delighted to be bringing you here. It's going to be a yoga Reiki retreat along with Sacred Ventures, just supporting you and continuing to live vibrantly, live in love, and create from your soul and heart's desires. Many of us are going through many changes in our lives, and there's a lot of upheaval in many people's lives. And I just want to invite you to know that sometimes, there are perceived obstacles. It's often important to see past them, and should you feel the call, and take the leap and join us on this quest, on this sacred journey to Maui. So, of course, you can see the details at my website, sacredventures.com, as well as all of the Reiki classes coming up this spring and summer, and all of the different events as well. I'm very excited to be starting a Reiki circle at Yoga Works in Santa Monica. So please, for those of you that are local in that area, check out that. That's coming up in April. And I'm also always available for in person, and for those of you that are far, not near me, distant, healing sessions and Reiki mentoring sessions and coaching and Kundalini yoga coaching sessions as well. So with that, I send you much Reiki, aloha, love, and blessings. May it be the most beautiful, powerful, grace-filled, awe-inspiring spring equinox for you. May you continue to live in your truth and in your dharma. Sat Nam, Reiki, aloha, love. Namaste.